Hello, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my September wrap-up, and that will be for the 8 books that I read, the 3 movies that I watched, and the TV show that I watched. I participated in the That 70s Horror Reading Challenge, which was hosted by John from the Books of Blood, and I ended up reading 4 books for that challenge. The first one is The Rats by James Herbert, and this is exactly what it sounds like. It's a book from the 70s about killer rats. These are really big rats, and one bite and you get a disease that will eventually kill you. But more likely, the rats will finish the job. The Rats was my pick for an author whose debut was in the 70s, as well as a book published in the 70s. Next, I read Rogue by Greg F. Gifune. This book I read for the possession prompt, and this was kind of a book that kept you wondering if it was a possession or if it was mental health or if it was something else. I will not tell you which one it is because that's kind of the point of the journey, and I really loved this book. It was really creepy and kept me guessing, and it was full of bizarre things. So strange. I loved it. Love, love, love. And it was a fast read too, so that's always good. Another fast read was Severed by Joshua Marsella, which I read for the book set during the Vietnam War, and this is a origin story for his book Scratches, and it was really, really good, and it added so much more to my experience reading Scratches. I'm really glad that I read this book, and I really love this story too. So good! The last thing I finished for that 70s Horror Reading Challenge is Suffer the Children by Saul. I had people vote on which 70s book I would read, and this was the winner. And this book is for, I think, Saul. This was his debut novel, and it's a 1970s book, so it counts for debut novel in the 70s, 70s book, 70s cover, and also it counts for creepy kids, because this is about a family who seems to be cursed, and some strange things are happening to the children of this family, and it seems like history repeating itself in a way. The little girl in this book, so creepy, doing some really awful things. And this could also count as a possession story too, I think. I got some overlap going on. I like that. This is the first Saul book I've read since high school, which was a long time ago, and I really, really love this book. And I want to read some more Saul for sure. I also read 4 books that were not for the reading challenge, including Shade by Chad Nicholas, which I read for review, sent a copy from the author, and I have a full review of that up. I really enjoyed it. So it's a good one if you like a thriller book, a bit of a police procedural, a bit of a serial killer book, and has lots of twists and turns, and this might be the one for you. I know I really enjoyed it. I also read Hetty by Eddie Generous, and I have a full review of that book as well, which I received from NetGalley, and I really loved Hetty as well. It's another standout book. It's about a haunted schoolhouse that has a mother and son living in it, and there's a lot of creepy children in this book as well as a very mean teacher ghost. There's some really great characters in this story that I love to root for, and I loved seeing what they would do in order to save the little boy in this story. Next, I read Crossroads by Laurel Hightower. This was a group read book for the ladies of horror fiction read along, as well as I read it for the Halloween-thon 2 hosted by Paul from Snowcone 72. And yeah, this is another standout book. It's amazing. Everybody loves this book, and I see why. It's actually right up my alley, and I knew I was going to love it, and I did. It's all about a woman who is grieving the loss of her teenage son and can't seem to let it go, and she goes to the spot where he died in a car accident every single day, and when she accidentally cuts herself and blood goes into the spot, some strange things start happening. It's kind of a crossroads between the living and the dead, crossroads demon type story, and I loved it. It was beautiful, it was sad, and it really hit hard. The last book that I read in September was Gerald's Game by Stephen King, which was the book club book for the Stephen King read along, hosted by Kelly Hooked on Books, and I really like this one. This is a great Stephen King book, really tough subject matter. It's about a woman who goes to a cabin in the woods with her husband to spice up their love life, and she is handcuffed to the bed, and then he dies. And she's stuck in a cabin in the middle of nowhere, and it's about her dealing with the situation, trying to figure out how to get free, and dealing with her past and the things that have happened in her life. And this was all from one woman's perspective, and it is all about her inner dialogue, her thoughts, since she is pretty much the only one there for most of the book. And I just loved it. Another one that hits hard emotionally. It goes into some serious topics. I love that sort of thing in books. So this one was right up my alley, and it's on the top 5 or so Stephen King books that I've read so far. Thinking about doing a Stephen King list. I know people won't agree with me, and there are some very unpopular opinions on that list, but let me know if you would be interested in me listing the 19 books that I've read so far from Stephen King in order that I like them. Let me know. Now for the 3 movies that I watched in September. The first one was A Quiet Place 2, written and directed by John Krasinski, starring Emily Blunt. A Quiet Place is like one of my favorite movies of all time. And this one was not quite as good as the original, but it was still an amazing movie. I mean, the difference was a 5-star favorite to a 4.5 star, so yes. And I thought it was going to be a prequel, but according to the previews that I saw, but there was like one scene that was a prequel, and then it goes to after the events of the first movie. The world gets a little bit bigger, they branch out and explore more, and I just really love this movie a lot. Probably going to watch it again sometime. But no movie beats this next one I watched, which was A Train to Busan, which is a Korean zombie movie, and it is the best zombie movie I've ever seen. It was amazing. It was a fun, action-packed zombie movie set in the perfect place, like this enclosed setting of this train. But what makes it a 5-star best zombie movie is how much heart it has. It was really hard-hitting emotionally as well. It was great in so many ways. It had me cheering, it had me laughing, it had me crying. Yeah, that's a good movie. I also watched a brand new movie, Malignant, directed by James Wan, and the main star is Annabelle Wallis, and this was a really, really weird movie. I thought it was really great in some ways. The cinematography was awesome. It was a beautiful movie, but it just got really strange in some parts. That's all I could say, really, without ruining it. But so I didn't dislike it. I just it's not like mind-blowing or anything. So yeah, it was about, average movie. It evened out the awesomeness and the not awesomeness. I watched one TV show in the month of September that was really awesome, and that is Lovecraft Country, starring Journey Smollett and Jonathan Majors. They are awesome. I'm glad that I finally watched this one. A lot of fun horror ideas could be explored in this kind of high production HBO TV series type way, and I loved it. I really want to read the book now, see how it compares. So that is everything that I read and watched in the month of September. Let me know if you've read any of these. What did you think of them? The movies, have you watched them? And let me know about the Stephen King video. And I will be back very soon with another book-related video. Thanks. Bye.